Hello humans! Welcome to the less harmonized channel on the internet. In today's video I will continue to produce the soundtracks for my channel intros. In particular, today I will deal with the soundtrack of the cat. I'm Artificial Marvin and you're watching The Beeping. In this case, the topics of the show are 2D and 3D animation and visual effects. So my idea for the soundtrack is to create a cinematic score, using mainly orchestral instruments. Okay, let's begin. First thing first, I realized that I don't have any samples on my computer. So I will search for some free library on the internet. So after a little research, I found some open source sample from the Philharmonia Orchestra, and after hours of downloading, I noticed a little detail that forced me to spend a little time before starting my production. Ardour does not support MP3 files. And guessing which format were the files I downloaded in the last few hours?
Yeah, you get it.
MP3s. So, after falling into despair for some minutes, I remembered to have a trick up my sleeve, being nerd. So, with a little nerd magic, I got my beloved WAV files. I just use a couple of shell scripts to automate the conversion of all the files inside the directory. This is a work that will require like a week being done by hand. In these moments, being nerd can be very satisfactory. As usual, I imported the sound effects I created in the last episodes, and I started to place them, trying to follow every movement that were in the animation. With the sound effect placed, I started to program the percussion lines. I'm not quite sure about this one, but I can always better it later. Then I loaded the orchestral string sample and started to improvise some chord that would fit the mood I was looking for. At this moment, percussion and arcs seems to belong to two completely different tracks. In theory, I think I will refine everything in a decent way. So, even if I know that there's still a lot of work to do, I still don't consider myself defeated yet. I tried to give some more punch to the percussion using a transient designer to emphasize the transients. And I know what you two people listening to my show are thinking now. Marvin, what the hell are transients? So Hal, please enlighten us.
In acoustics and audio, a transient is a high amplitude, short duration sound at the beginning of a waveform that occurs in phenomena such as musical sounds, noises or speech.
Finally, I decided to fix the timing for the percussions and strings. Now finally they make sense together.
Maybe.
To make everything more interesting, I added an arpeggiated synth to the orchestra, and then I spiced up the whole mix with a touch of reverb, delay and EQ. Okay, I switched though. Listening to my song more carefully, I decided that I wasn't getting exactly the mood I was aiming for. The soundtrack vibes were too electronic. I need more accurate instruments to give this track the feeling of an actual orchestra. And since I didn't want to spend the rest of the week setting up a nice sampler, I decided to use a program that already had this instrument set and ready to be played. So I started to populate my tracks with the new sounds. Then I decided to delete the arpeggiated synth to replace it with an arpeggio of a pizzicato violin. This sounds much more like an orchestra. Then I added an entire violin section to play some nice chords. Now it's time to play with some sound effects to emphasize the movements in the animation. After that, I focused on the main melody. It will be played by a bassoon. I choose to do the smart move.
At least in my opinion, it is a smart move.
Due to the fact that the high frequencies in the spectrum will be pretty overpopulated. So I chose an instrument that generates frequencies in the lower portion of the audible spectrum. I duplicated some sections in this composition to be played by different instruments to increase the complexity in the sound textures. And in the end, I focused on the mix, trying to balance as much as possible all these elements and even more trying not to alter the sound and its dynamics, using too many EQ and effects. So, this is the final result. For this to be my first orchestral song, I think I got a very nice result. What do you think? If you have any comment or suggestion, please feel free to write it in the section down below.
I used to be indecisive. Now I'm not sure. What do you get when you cross an elephant with a rhino? Elephino. Where otters from? Outer space. I started a band called 999 Megabytes. We haven't gotten a gig yet.
If you liked this video, please give me a like and subscribe to this channel. Until the next challenge, as always, thank you for watching. Bye humans!